Okay, so we're going to slow things down now because we can kind of back up a little bit. Shoes going to have the frames. Okay, so I'm going to go into the same position, which is heart and heart. We're not looking at kind of a low side control or a really high side control at the moment. So it's kind of mid heart and heart position is what we're looking at. This means you can still bridge and affect my posture. Okay, from here, it's going to underhook. And we need to make a decision. I've got two options. We can either start progressing into kind of knee and belly mount and doing all that kind of thing. Or we can start looking to go into what we call a scarf hold, a full keset. We're going to focus on the knee and belly today. Okay. So first things first, I need to get that knee across because as long as he's on his side, he's really hard to control. If you try to control someone who's on the side of this position, he's got lots of different options. So he can start shrimping, going onto his knees, so eyes, all the same sort of stuff. He's got the ability to start kind of posturing, getting up, moving. He can shrimp out. He can come back. He can start getting into a guard. He's going to stop for the love of Christ. Come back, same position. So the underhook here. He might take this leg across, start capturing my leg. Yeah, which is then going to cause all kinds of funky different options for Stu. He's going to reverse it. Okay, so this isn't a great position. When we lose the underhook and he's on his side, we have to deal with this as a situation. We can't just let him start moving from here. So this arm, we're just going to use as a press up for now. This arm, same thing as a press up. I'm going to slide my knee. I want to get both shoulder blades on the mat. Okay, so here, and then I'm going to start pushing my shin across his belly. And this is what's going to help a little bit. Okay, to get him back onto his shoulder blades and both butt cheeks. Okay, so he bridges. Yeah, I'm going to go a lot slower. So here, no, it's fine. Yeah, knee, and then I want him onto his shoulder blades and his butt cheek. If I want, I can grab the collar as well and use that to have that good control and lift up. So this is going to create a lot more pressure. Okay, but it's this that I'm more focused on, is getting his shoulder blades and his butt cheeks on the mat. We've already looked at repummeling to go for the back into side control with our underhook on the far side. You can do that, or you can just have a little play at the knee and belly. Okay, just going to practice that to start off with. Yeah, responding to the loss of the underhook and then putting them back into a side control position or a good solid knee and belly. Okay, give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Quickly have a look at the knee and belly. Then we'll do a little bit of drill and then we'll do some live isolation rounds. So with the knee and belly, what I'm seeing a lot of people doing is they're taking the knee all the way over here. Like even though we want the shin across the belly on this one in particular, we don't want the knee that far over. So for me, the knee kind of goes no further than the hip. Okay, and this is where I'm going to get this good controlling position from the knee and belly point of view, but also help manipulate and move his hips. So Stewie gets onto his side. Okay, I'm going to get my knee to here, yeah, and then I'm just going to use that knee, but I'm going to roll his hips. So I'm using my shin more than my knee, so I'm not kind of throwing like a tie knee and doing all, a tie knee, but it's more to do with kind of rolling that shin. Yeah, so I can still use this, but I'm rolling that shin to get his back onto the mat. Okay, so I'm not driving the knee across, it's that shin that's doing a lot of the work. Alright, one of the reasons why we might not want to go into a mount position is we might not like mount, we might not have very good taxing mount at the moment. Although it's a really dominant position to be able to secure it, keep it and have good attacks from the mount. It can take a little bit of time to develop, so side control some people can feel a little more comfortable with. I know I prefer to go back to a side control position. So once I get to here and I hit that underhook, okay, I've got to make sure that this, for me, that hand's kind of foot on the mat, just going to help me then walk that hand up. But even if we go to mount, getting used to hitting that underhook helps us isolate this arm. So if I'm going to go over to mount, yeah, I can then start using the thing walk to bring the hand up nice and high. So from here we can start attacking the Americana, we can start passing the arm across the head and arm chokes, we can start looking to go for arm bars and things like that. There's lots of different options, and it all comes from that underhook on the far side. So you get options to go back into side control, but also start attacking from that. Okay, so just have a bit of a practice with that knee on belly. Yeah, make sure it's the shin that's kind of driving the hip over. If you get used to kind of just pushing the hip, usually the body always follows. Unfortunately, spine doesn't kind of bend like that. It usually has to stay aligned. So when you start moving the hip, yeah, the spine forces the top part of the body to kind of move as well. So like getting used to this and not having to use your hands as much, frees your hands up to then isolate and attack. Okay, last couple of goes in, put some light rounds in. 1, 2, 3. One of the reasons why we go to knee on belly is because if I get into my side, I have a better chance and a better opportunity to get back into a guard. Okay, so again, I load up, tilt my hips slightly, bridge, underhook. Right? From here, it's a lot easier for me to start bringing this knee through, which starts creating a problem for Stuart. Okay? Because now I can start working towards a guard. Okay? So when I hit that underhook and get to here, if he switches straight to that knee on belly, can't get straight back in the guard. Okay, so it kind of kills my opportunity to get a guard position. We go back, yeah, he doesn't go to knee on belly, he underhooks, or overhooks or whatever, but I still can get back in the guard. So use that knee on belly to kind of prevent that guard as well. So again we go, yeah. This is why he's going knee on belly before he underhooks. Okay, so I get my underhook, he goes knee on belly, he's now killed my ability to get back into guard, just by bringing this knee across. So even if you don't get the opportunity to start putting me back on my shoulder blades in my back, and even if you don't get the opportunity to underhook, because I'm keeping my arm nice and tight, at least you've stopped my ability to go into a guard position. So that's kind of one of the other reasons why we always knee on belly first before we start hitting our underhooks and overhooks and all that kind of thing. Okay? So get a quick drink and then we're going to do some live rounds. Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3.